Good morning, and yes, I'm live now, not live in 5 minutes. The reason it said 9:05 is because at 8:50 I pulled the trigger on scheduling the live broadcast, and it requires 10 minutes, and I was just inside that window, so I had to do it at 9:05. But I don't care; I'm doing it now. So thank you for joining me. And yes, if you saw the header, the image, the post, it says how to survive a stabbing, or it says I was stabbed and survived. And no, I wasn't physically stabbed. There was already a question. Were you really stabbed? No, it wasn't physical. It was with words. And I want to explain myself so I can be very clear in my communication. And so when I said I was stabbed, the stabbing came in the form of a question, and that question really struck a nerve with me. And the question came to me via DM over the holiday weekend, and I had to really do some deep thinking about it. And because I realized that I was stuck in this self-judgment. Remember last week I talked about stop beating yourself up? I was beating myself up. So the question of the day is this. Hey, Spanky, why did you stop sharing in the Facebook group, meaning the group that she's a part of? I just read the chapter in your book where you shared this information and realized I don't ever see you post these days. I miss your advice and experience. Anyway, hope all is well and that you see this message, Catherine. Wow, did that hurt? Like, have you ever been stabbed? And figuratively, not literally, like I was just stabbed by Catherine. You know, I recognize that her words weren't meant to be mean. They weren't meant to be malicious. They weren't really meant to hurt me. They're just words. But it's a fact, right? The circumstance is I've not been posting in Facebook groups. And the thought I have about it is, geez, what an idiot. Why? I should be doing this. This is how I built my company. Why am I not doing this? And, you know, so I really started to spiral and spin just based off of her question. Why did you stop sharing in the Facebook group? And it wasn't that I intentionally did this. Or was it? So let me go back. Did I get lazy? No. Did I suddenly stop caring? No. Am I too busy? Yes and no, both. My excuse is actually really lame, and let me kind of dive into it. Building a business from nothing, from the ground up, takes energy. It takes focus. It takes determination, dedication, all the things that you know. And I simply got busy running the business, being in the business. And so if I look back at what caused this, where this started was about a year ago when my son flooded the house. And it was a nightmare. For those of you who know this, it was an epic nightmare. Insurance claim, unplanned remodeling, the whole nine. And it took my attention away from the business for a while. My eye wasn't necessarily on the ball. And so the time that I had available, the time that I was able to do things, I really focused on the business internally. I kind of looked inward. I didn't really have the spare time, the extra time to help other people. And so to Catherine's point, I stopped sharing in groups. As time went on, my posting got less and less frequent, and then it stopped. And there have absolutely been times where I thought, oh, I got to jump in and share something of value today, but you know, then someone would pull me away in the office and I would use that as an excuse. And then by the time I was able to jump in, I started to judge myself. I started to like beat myself up for not being active, for not adding value. And that spiraled into me, judging myself and thinking that others are judging me. And it became this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy of, oh, well, if I think this way about me, they must think even worse, right? So you get in your head about this. And I started listening to that voice, that yes, ma'am, in my head, except it was yes, sir. And it's the self-doubt. It's the self-doubt that we all have. And that voice became really, really loud. So here I am. I've managed to stop the bleeding. The wound has been dressed. And I'm really grateful for Catherine's DM, because every day, you get an opportunity to do over. It's a start again, to do it one more time. 365 new days, 365 fresh starts. And so today's day one. And so Catherine, thank you for calling me out on it. Thank you for saying, hey, why did you stop sharing in the group? I appreciate you sharing that with me, and I take that to heart. And so, I greatly appreciate that. Justin says, to be fair, you've started to share in much larger ways. You're trying to scale to bigger audiences, and you're in a bigger pond now that with how you attack that, you have the ability to help more people and share. You know what? You're right. And Justin, you're right. I am sharing in different ways, but that doesn't mean I can't continue to do the things that helped me build the company in the first place. And I really found myself, it's funny. I find myself judging myself, as we all do, way more harshly than the outside world. I'm sure if I jumped into a Facebook group today, there would be 0 to like 0.00001% judgment of my decision to jump back in, or thought as to me jumping back in, other than, oh, hey, he's back. That's it. So anyway, listen, if you're adding value in your field, in your business, in your world, don't hesitate to just jump in and add value to the world. How are you adding value to your world, to the people around you, to the businesses around you? What are you doing to make a difference? What are you doing to make the world better and to help others become better? You're one of the most generous people I know. Put that judgy stick away. Well, the judgy stick is away. I've sewn up the wound from the stabbing. And no, but it's funny. We all do this to ourselves. We all beat ourselves up over the silliest stuff. Like, if you think about it, you do something, and I didn't do this with the intent of saying, oh, I'm done with those groups. I don't have time for these groups. No, but time slips away. And then once time slips away, and you do think about going back in and doing the things that you did, the noise begins. Oh, what are people going to say? What are they going to think? Blah, 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 right? And that's what happened. So I apologize to Catherine and everyone else in the groups. I appreciate it, Justin. I didn't forget my roots. It just took time to plant more trees. I just took time to plant more trees. And I did. And I am doing that. So anyway, if you are part of any of the groups that I'm a part of and you've not seen me in there, you now know why. And, don't beat yourself up. Just don't beat yourself. I can't even speak. Oh my God, my mouth isn't working. You're welcome, Alfredo. I'm glad to share. And I'm glad that I've helped you in a lot of ways. That's why I love doing this. It's so much fun. I haven't emailed my list in 6 months. What? Oh my God. No, I'm not judging you. I write 50 emails a week for clients. I preach the importance. See, this is it, right? So you know it, and there's no judgment. I'm holding space for you. There's no judgment here. And I wish I could see their name, but if they didn't authenticate with the app, I can't see their name. So Facebook user, random Facebook user, I feel you, it's tough. And you say to clients, you need to be doing this. It's just like I do. I say to clients that they'll ask me, I get probably 100 DMs a week. How many ads should I run? How many messages should I have running simultaneously on Facebook, on this, on that? And I will, oh, hi, Terry. Thank you. Now I know who it is. Now you're not just random Facebook user. It's so weird. You were like an invisible Facebook user. The answer to that question is always do what works for you. But the reality is that I'm always testing, right? I'll run 10, 20 ads. I think we have like 100 something ads running across multiple platforms and ad sets and Facebook and YouTube and right. But I'll tell people, start out with an ad or two. But the reality is that I test at scale. Because I know different messages work for different people. Look, you're a rock star. You play big venues. Every now and then you go back to the small town bar and the people who helped kick you off their platform and into larger world. But it's okay if you can't visit every day and you do that with a rock star attitude. Anyway, you do it with humility and humanity. And I'm still working on, I know I'm mumbling my reads. I got to stop doing that. I tend to do a skim read. And so sorry about that. Thank you, Stella. I appreciate you. So yeah, it's don't stand in judgment of yourself, your action, or Terry, in your case, your inaction, right? Just make the correction and don't think about the conversation that you're having in your head about your decision to do or not to do, right? Because we spend an awful lot of energy in the thought rather than the action. And so take yourself out of the thought, right? The circumstance is you haven't been doing the emails. You're not drinking your own Kool-Aid, but the thoughts you have about it can really weigh you down and stop you from taking action. And so stop doing that. And I've stopped doing that because that's what happened to me. And thanks to Catherine calling me out on not sharing in the Facebook group, I actually appreciate that. I don't mind being stabbed in the nice way that she stabbed me. So there you go. Don't hold yourself don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And you too can survive a stabbing. Now, I know I've been a little inconsistent this week. It was a holiday week. Then yesterday we had a lot of crap to deal with internally, and it's just catch up. So not making excuses, just sharing. And I'm not beating myself up over it. It just is what it is. Listen, I will probably be back tomorrow, maybe Friday, but I will be back again this week. Thank you so much for the attention. Thank you for jumping in today and joining me and sharing. And I look forward to our next morning chat. You have an amazing day. Take care.